Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome on into your FreightWaves Now Community Spotlight. I'm Kaylee Nix, here with the one and only Mary O'Connell. Mary is dressed and ready for fall. It's pumpkin spice season, and the orange shirt is reflecting it. How are you doing on this Tuesday, Mary?
I am good. I feel like I'm misrepresenting myself because I'm not a pumpkin spice girly. But hey, to each his own, happy PSL season to those that celebrate.
It's also supposed to be like well over 100 degrees across the majority of the country this week. So maybe we celebrated fall a little prematurely. I don't know. Anyways, we're here with another episode of Check Call this week, coming live to you in about 3 hours or so. But first, we got to preview it. And today we are talking all about teamwork, making the dream work in brokerage. Talk to us a little bit about your guest.
Yeah, so we bring back the one and only Craig Lough. I'm sure if you've been to a supply chain conference in the past few years, you've definitely run into this man. He seems to be at all of them at an exhausting rate. I don't know how he does it, but one of the really cool things that we talk about this week is that over the last year, obviously, Duie Pyles with Freight Brokerage is kind of new to the scene. But one of the things we talk about this week is that they, for their first year, have had 100% employee retention, which is something that's not really common in freight brokerage, because we're kind of known for more or less eating our young. And some people just go into it knowing, oh, I can make a bunch of money, and it ends up not really working out for them, just because maybe they didn't know the type of job that it was, or it just wasn't the right fit for them. But they were actually able to take that extremely high turnover that we see in a lot of those larger mega freight brokers, and have essentially none, or not essentially, just literally none.
Yeah, it's almost like a running joke across some of the brokerage space, right? Especially with the prevalence and the issues of non-competes in the industry, where people say that it's kind of like predatory to enter a brokerage, especially if you're talking about your first job out of college, right? They prey on those folks who've got the business degrees and they don't know what to do. They come in, you work for a year, they make you sign a 3-year non-compete, and then you're out the door before you can say hello to your first 5 clients. But this is something that I think is changing the culture of brokerage, right? And seeing Duie Pyle lead by example is almost something that can be an aspirational goal for some of those mega brokerages to go to. What are some of the aspects that have made them so successful at this retention? Is it just building that team camaraderie? Is it giving enough resources? Because we know that it's certainly not the quality of the freight market right now.
Yes, unfortunately, they don't have a magic potion that magically makes all of their freight immune to the freight market. But really, it's really knowing their people. They really take a time to know, okay, well, what are people into? What are people interested in? Where can I cross train? Where can I, maybe rearrange someone to make sure that they have the right fit? Because every brokerage has people that will come in, start as a broker, realize they don't really like it, it's not really for them, and they will in turn then sit there and go, okay, well, what do I do with this person? Like, they don't want to be a freight broker, so like, let's just fire them. That's not really the greatest approach, because you're always going to need operations support. You're always going to need someone in the back office. So that person that's not necessarily a great freight broker, well, maybe they would like to do operations support. Maybe we can put them somewhere else. And it's really just kind of identifying everyone's strengths. And as cheesy as it is, like, how you send out those company touch base, those feelers, how's everybody feeling surveys? You just like actually do something with the results, or like actually listen to what people are saying, because you'll get a lot of really good quality information that way. And I think it's just really important that you really know your people, know your audience, and know what people are looking for, whether it's, professional development or a career path. And that's something that they've really taken to heart. So they've just established basically from day one, here's a career path for you. Just basically pick a role, and it'll have a kind of like a path and a plan and milestones you should be hitting and everything like that. If that's something that you're interested in, if you're not, then that's completely fine too. They have different outlets for that. So I think it's really cool that they've kind of taken that unique approach and saying, we're here for everyone, and we're really going to try and make this the best place possible, versus something that's just like, well, we put a beer fridge in the kitchen.
And here's your ping pong table too, but that's all you get. Professional development is one of those things that I think is such an underutilized resource when it comes to taking care of your employees, and even just showing that you are interested and invested in their success with you, but you're also interested and invested in their success as a person, as a career seeker, and as a human and an asset to your company. And if you lack that professional development resources or kind of game plan, definitely something that you should look at improving as you're looking to attract more quality talent into your hiring pipeline. Okay, I know that we joke a lot about pizza Fridays and beer fridges and ping pong tables, but those little perks are also super important. Anything fun that they do to really take care of their employees that makes it say, hey, yeah, this is a great place to work.
I mean, a lot of it comes down to like the flexibility of hours that people can work and, just kind of saying, okay, well, if you want to if you want to adjust your schedule in the morning, that's fine. If you want to work later in the day, that's fine. It's kind of whatever works for you. And then one of the things that they did when they were setting up their office, they really said, okay, well, where can we put this office that works for us, that works for our footprint, but also is in an area that doesn't have an extremely high cost of living. So a lot of times in Chicago or Atlanta or other major cities that we see a bunch of freight brokerages, you have someone that's coming in it's just naturally more expensive to live there. So they're running into that problem where they're feeling like they have to make this margin. They're feeling a lot more pressure. They're not really feeling satisfied. They're not enjoying their work because they're just trying to make money so they can live. And that's something that they really took into account. When they were setting up this office, is they made sure to pick a town and pick an area that had an extremely affordable cost of living. So that way everyone wasn't like, no one had to commute for 45 minutes each way just to go to work because that was the only place they could afford. So that was something that they really tried to kind of accommodate. And honestly, really, they just have listened to what people want. And whether it's something as silly as an ice machine or water fountains, which sounds weird, but how sometimes people want very specific ice machines. We're all into ice. Okay. We all know that Sonic has the best ice. So if you want a Sonic replica ice machine, wonderful. But it's something little like that is you never would have thought of unless you asked your people, and making sure that you keep that dialogue open is kind of the number one way to make sure that you will maintain your happy people. Because obviously you can't just always throw money at the problem, although that is not an unwelcome solution.
Take care of your people, and they will in turn take care of your business, which turns into some profits there. Mary, thanks for joining us this morning for the update on Check Call. Of course, we will catch your show this afternoon at 12:30 right here on FreightWaves TV, and we will catch up with you again next week.
Bye, guys.